Hi, I'm Michael Killen. Dean Martin was one of the most successful movie actors, comedian. He had his own TV show, but he sang. He sang in such a way that he romanced and touched us all. But tonight, the next best thing is here. He is Matt Helm. He sings like Dean Martin. So Matt, the floor is yours.
Como bella c'è la luna, mille stelle, stelle come molto belle, festeggiare sotto il cielo di Roma. Down each avenue, via, street, and strada, you can see them disappear, two by two. Take her from Espresso, yeah, I guess so. All these lovers are a girl I wish I knew. On an evening in Rome, oh, there's green mandolin sunny. The beginning's just begun when the sun goes down. So please meet me in the plaza, near the casa.
Thank you very much.
A pleasure, sir. Thank you.
Please sit. Matt, that was smooth. I mean, really smooth. Now, I want to tell you what came to my mind as you were singing. I grew up not far from Hoboken, where a buddy of yours, Frank Sinatra,
hometown,
came from, and in an enclave where there were many, many Italians. And I could just see you singing on a Friday night or at a dinner or a Sunday, singing Dean Martin songs, and they'd be falling all over you.
Well, thank you very much.
Very melodic, very smooth.
Thank you, sir.
But give me an idea. Well, first of all, I think you sing every week, just about, in San Francisco at Joey and Eddie's restaurant. Is that right?
Well, we're at Joey and Eddie's on Sunday nights, this coming Sunday night, and the following Sunday night we'll be there as the Rat Pack. Rick Ellis, Howard Henderson, and myself, Frank, Sammy, and Dean. And I'm also in a restaurant in San Jose called Fratello's every Friday night.
Fratello's,
yeah.
Friday night in San Jose.
Wednesday nights in Burlingame at the Broadway Grill.
All right. Joey and Eddie's on Sundays?
Sunday nights as they schedule us.
As a member of the Rat Pack.
Right.
That's Dean Martin, Sammy Davis, and Frank Sinatra.
Right.
And then it's Broadway Grill in Burlingame.
In Burlingame every Wednesday night.
Yeah.
And Fratello's on Friday nights in San Jose.
And I'd like to just step back for a minute. You're not a kid, I'm not a kid. How did you get involved in a profession where you sing and impersonate an icon of the 60s and the 70s and the 80s, Dean Martin?
Well, it's something that I've always had an interest in. I've always been kind of a natural mimic, been able to imitate people ever since I was a kid, I was kind of the neighborhood guy that would do neighborhood people for entertainment for my friends and things, and teachers at school, that kind of thing. When I was about 8 years old, I was up in our back bedroom in my house. My mother had been in there doing some kind of work, and she had the radio going, and I just remember hearing this voice on the radio. It was Dean Martin, and the song was Volare. There were 3 versions of that song out at the time. Bobby Rydell had a rock and roll type version.
An Italian fellow.
He was the originator of the song. His version was also out, and then Dean's was out. I didn't know who he was. I just knew, boy, whoever that guy is, he's got the best version.
Okay.
Yeah.
8 years old?
About that. Yeah.
So you heard a great singer
Right.
singing a song, okay, and you didn't know who he was. But prior to that, you liked entertaining your friends.
Right.
Why?
Just in me, I guess, naturally an entertainer.
But how does mimicking, where did the idea, or how did you get into entertaining by mimicking?
That was, again, something that I just kind of had a natural ability for with certain people, and it was the kind of entertainment that I always enjoyed the most. Anytime, like on the old Ed Sullivan Show or any of those variety shows that used to be so popular, anytime they had an impressionist on there, those were my favorite acts. Those were the guys that I just loved to sit there and watch. And it was more fun watching that person be the person they were imitating than actually watching the real person that they were imitating. You know?
Really?
Yeah, as far as I was concerned.
And of the impersonators, who were some of your favorites?
Well, Frank Gorshin.
I don't know, Frank.
Well, he was the Riddler in Batman. I don't know if you remember that old series. That's one of the things he's most famous for in television. Good actor, but an excellent impressionist, and I've seen him in person. Rich Little, of course.
Rich Little, I
Yeah.
remember him. And I've enjoyed his performances.
And there were many that I remember seeing, but I'm not even sure who they were or how far they went. I just remember catching those acts and really enjoying them, if they were good.
So, you have a mind that allows you to listen and see. You know, listen to somebody talk or sing and move around, and you have a mind that you can somehow or another capture that and take on those capabilities, characteristics yourself.
I guess that's a pretty fair way of describing it, yeah.
How come, though?
Well, everybody's got their natural interests, things that well up from within. And what's been beautiful for me in going full-time into entertainment is to be able to make my living now doing what I love to do, performing my passion.
All right.
I think that whatever that is for any individual, whatever they have inside them that's just always wanting to come out, if you can find whatever that is and find a way to make your living doing that, you'll never work a day in your life.
So you feel you are very fortunate.
I do.
In that for you, work is really fun.
Right.
And when you arrived here in the studio, you mentioned a few places where you were performing today already. Just name those cities. I can't remember them. I remember Scott Valley and...
Right. Well, I started out up near Brentwood, which is up above Livermore.
Okay.
And then I had to come all the way back down to Scotts Valley for a private party, and then I came here. So